Hey, it's me, Big P, and I'm here today to bring you what's sure to be the most powerful, most satisfying, and just the chillest starter build for the 3.5 Path of Exile Betrayal League. And that is a Winter Orb Inquisitor that's also casting Ice Spear while channeling the Winter Orb. Basically, the idea for the build is new skill Winter Orb looks good, new skill Ice Spear looks good. Let's smash them together and cast them both, just trying to scale them and see what happens. Let's see, where do we really begin? I mean, Inquisitor is kind of a Ascendancy that's fallen off lately, which is understandable because a lot of the other ones are pretty strong, but I still think it's definitely good to league start with. Definitely gives you a lot of nice things like increased attack speed and spell damage that just make the build feel better, just in case. The order would be Virtue, Righteous Providence, Inevitable Judgment, and if you're still playing this build and really want to bring it through the Uber Lab, Augury of Penitence, Penitence, whatever. The skill tree is pretty basic in terms of it's kind of based off the old EK Nova Inquisitor, because Ethereal Knives was a projectile, and you kind of scale it. You know, you dip into Sniper over here. These might not be worth it, but I think that dipping into the projectiles might be important, so much so that I actually have a Deadeye version of the tree that we can take a look at as well. But yeah, it's pretty basic. You just go in to fill out some of the nicer Inquisitor nodes here, Templar nodes rather. Fill out here when you need it. Mind over Matter, you go into maybe around Act 8, 9 when you start taking some bigger hits. You are spell crit, so we go crit here, crit here. Fill out the life wheel as you see necessary. Jewel slots, gem slot, jewel slots, not gem slots. Tree's not much to write home about. We are stretching all the way into Fingers of Frost in both trees. I do want to give it a try, even though maybe it's better for the sort of like Arctic Breath, those other new cold skill reworks. But it seems like it might still be pretty strong for our build. Let's see. Let's go into the skills itself. We don't really have that much tangible, in-game stuff right now to work with, but I have worked with cast while channeling before, and something to keep in mind is that it eats up a gem slot for a 6-link, and you also ideally want support gems that will scale with both of your socketed spells. I guess I should go over real quick. Cast while channeling is very simple. You will cast the spell while you're channeling another spell. It's like a free spell. I used it with Scorching Ray and Volatile Dead, and it's so fun. It just makes the build feel playable. It makes the two skills kind of shore up each other's weaknesses. Volatile Dead special, but anyway, not about that. We're using a new build. We're using the new spells. Creating multiple projectiles is going to be important because that might make the Ice Spear shotgun and probably will just bring overall damage of Winter Orb up. Slower proj I think we can get away with. Again, we might take this out after we see how both the Winter Orb and the Ice Spear end up being. If it's really too slow and like starts affecting clear speed and just makes the build feel clunky, I think we'll take that out, but it might just make it so strong. There are kind of low damage numbers we're working with on each of them, but I'm hoping that the support of the tree and the skills here will be enough. Arcane Surge is no brainer. More spell damage, mana regen, cast speed, all relevant and all beautiful. Don't really have that much, this is a very bare bones sort of path of building setup. There will be a link for both this and the Deadeye version in the description. Herald of Ice, Curse on Hit, Warlord's Mark, Onslaught, easy way to get endurance charges. It's kind of the same function as Mind Over Matter, just early tankiness to kind of get you through maps, get you league started. And Shield Charge with faster attacks, Fortify, and whatever else if you want to make it a 4-link. For items, I kind of wanted to keep it simple, keep it with stuff that you can kind of fill out the rest of what your build might need with rares. We're obviously, the build might end up going into like a staff with the 6th link. We might craft a staff with cast while channeling or something like that. But to start with, you really do want the tabula. You kind of need the 6 links if you're going to go on a cast while channeling route. Having it early is just going to be very important because it brings both of your spells that you're casting up to a certain power. In addition to that, we might also bring in another cold spell on totem support but that's beyond that. We'll see. I'm starting this, and I'll have kind of a more fleshed out version by the end of the weekend, early next week. I'll make a follow-up video there. Victaria's Acuity is another one that I liked using while leveling with the EK Nova Inquisitor. Just kind of simple, strong projectile speed and damage, and just an easy, cheap way to get frenzy and power charges because I'm lazy. You can pick this up really early. Tabula is going to be a little trickier, but at least you can target farm it. So the build is kind of SSF friendly if you're into that. Maybe not so much hardcore friendly if you're into that. Maybe fill out the life wheel here. We could go up, you know, talking about min-maxing the build a bit more, like kind of pushing it. Could go up into this new cold stuff. Probably would go through the power charges here. The crit down here, we might want to reach somehow. Might go into phase acro as well, but we'll see. Basically, this base tree is going to give us a lot of travel nodes that we can kind of fill out as we push the build into higher maps and see. I guess let's go over the Deadeye tree real quick, just so you can take a look. I'm not going to do this one because I feel like the Deadeye maybe is a bit too much about the projectiles and not so much the spells itself. You know, you kind of have some awkward pathing to begin with here. Brings you up into some nice stuff here. Crit and life and some jewels. We will go phase acro, of course, on this. Because we don't reach mind over matter with this tree that we currently have set up. But as you can see around here, it's pretty similar. We do end up going up here just for the increased damage. The Deadeye's not so... it might end up being faster, but I kind of want to maybe push higher content, so I think the Inquisitor will end up being the better of those two. What else do I need to mention? I mean, I don't want to make this video too long. There's not much we can actually see with the current spell. This is very, very hypothetical, the way this build is going to work out. But hopefully it's going to be awesome because the new spells look awesome. And knowing newer spells, they're really, really strong. Okay, let's wrap it up, I guess. I mean, if you have any questions about what I have here so far, if you have any suggestions for what I want to do, you can hit me up here on YouTube, or you can drop by the stream. Leave a link in the description. It's just Big Pilgrim is my account name, same as this YouTube account, but it's one word. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy yourselves. I hope you have a great league start weekend, and I'll see you all in the next video.